If you're around people who gossip, who talk crap about the next person, who always has something to say, you need to look at yourself and say, what in me is attracted to that? We have to be able to catch ourselves and to say, hey, I want better for myself. And in order to be better, I need to practice what I preach. Greetings, my amazing A-listers, and welcome to another beautiful day with A. I am so grateful to be here, and I trust that you all are well. If you're not, I'm sending you all the good vibes. Welcome to February. It is such an amazing feeling to just be in another month. I honestly feel like January went by a bit I don't want to say slow, but I feel like it was very fulfilling and I got all that I needed out of January. It was a very good month. But for those of you who are new, my name is A, and I'm your favorite mindset and meditation mentor. I help women reclaim their self worth by putting themselves first and create self fulfilling routines through accountability and meditation sessions. A list is a list of alchemizing women of the highest order of divinity, excellence, and admirable eminence. We make it happen, we don't make excuses. So today's topic, I was just feeling just extremely grateful and lovely. For those of you who saw my self-love to the woman who's healing poetry spoken word, if you haven't, go check it out. That really was on my heart last night as I was going to sleep. And I was not only thinking of myself, but the women that are in my community and the women who are going to be coming into the community. This journey is really a process. It is not a race, it's a marathon. And I believe that it's very important for us, even through our trials and errors, to remember to continue to love ourselves and to pour into ourselves because at the end of the day, we are all that we have. And I'm just grateful that I have reached a heightened awareness and to be able to just share my experiences with you all transparently. I don't feel bad about anything that I've ever spoken about. I don't feel bad about my flaws and the things that I have put out here on the internet. I don't feel like I put anything crazy, but I mean, to some people, they commend me for just being so transparent because I live in authenticity and purity, and that is something that is really important to me. And even when I'm not being as authentic as I can be, I can take accountability for that, and I can look at myself in the mirror and be like, okay, sis, you are not doing what you need to do. Even though you talk about having a routine, right now you're not following your routine. And that just happens. That is just the reality of life. But we have to be able to catch ourselves and to say, hey, I want better for myself. And in order to be better, I need to practice what I preach. And I live by that, honestly. Being surrounded by people, women that support you and who really see you for you and accept you as you are, I believe that is very important. And to have that self love because we are a reflection of those who we keep around us in some way, shape, or form, no matter if it was good or bad. If you're around people who gossip, who talk crap about the next person, who always have something to say, you need to look at yourself and say, what in me is attracted to that? Is it that you enjoy that type of stuff? Is it that you secretly, maybe not verbally speak about other people, but you're constantly talking about other people in your mind or dropping shade? Like you have to be able to identify those things within yourself to see how that is reflected to others back to you. And you know what? It is okay. We're all human. We all fall victim to temptation and to bad things. It's like the things that aren't good for us, we are attracted to, and the things that are good for us, we kind of reject and deflect. But as you get older, we are not getting younger. Our bodies are becoming a bit more stiffer. I mean, I know a lot of people, especially women in my community, they work out and they move their bodies, but they can even tell you that our momentum and our metabolism isn't the same how we were when we were like 6, 7 years old or even 14 years old. And so just really feeding yourself the people, the foods, the social media content, all these things. And I say this a lot, but it is very important. And it's just those simple things. Like me, when I really just started my journey and really bettering myself and taking the initiative to just feed myself better foods, cook my own food, and exercise more. I would really sit day by day and see like, wow, like I wake up feeling different. Like I see the world different. The experiences I have with other people felt different. Like I was more clear, I was more aware, and I was like, wow, this is really life. This is really what's happening to me. And sometimes we don't realize it because we'll be just so in our heads, going nowhere fast into social media, looking at what this person's doing, trying to figure out how to look good and do X, Y, and Z for other people or the external. But a lot of times, for the most part, that stuff is not important. And our well being and us being happy outside of the material is what's really important. Because if you can't sit with yourself, if you can't see yourself, if you can't just enjoy life for itself and just sit out in nature, I love being out in nature. This is actually my favorite spot to be in. And every time I come out here, I get so thrilled. It's gotten to the point where I know when the flowers are blooming. Like right now, we have the purple and white flowers that are blooming on this bush. Actually, it was in the self love spoken word that I put up. You will see those purple flowers. They only come out in the wintertime. So around December up until probably about March, they're blooming. And then after that, they go away. I wouldn't say the tree is bare, but they have like, it starts to grow like other uh, little fruit things that like the squirrels and stuff eat, and then they form like tiny, tiny little puff white flowers throughout the year. But these purple and white flowers that bloom, they only come at a certain time of the year. But the only reason I know that is because I've been studying my land for a few years now, and I'm in tune with nature. I know what's happening, what is not going to happen. Like, and it's fascinating to me. I even like bird watching. Like, I didn't even know over here we have hummingbirds, and actually have a garden page, and I had saw like, because your algorithm on Instagram, whatever you post or whatever you like is what's going to pop up in those on your feed. And I noticed that there was like, I used to see a lot of hummingbirds. I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love to see one. And I think like a few days later I had a dream about one. And then when I actually came out here and I was standing on one of these, but on the other side there was a hummingbird like right above my head, and I'm like, wow, I never knew that. But that's just me paying attention and me being in alignment and just being in tune with nature. It's like you just never know what's around you or what's in front of you until you take time to just sit, relax, stay still, and just be aware. And hell, the trees even talk to me. There was this thing that I like to say to everybody: is there really any competition in this world? If you think about all these trees, you see them, they're all different. They're not competing for sunlight because they all get some type of sunlight. And if you see that some of them, they merge into each other and create a whole nother ecosystem. There's no competition. There's abundance everywhere. Mother Nature is abundant. And so pointing to yourself and looking at yourself is the most valuable thing that you can do for you, because at the end of the day, you have the power to choose. You have abundance within you that no one else can take unless you give it away, unless you deplete your energy, unless you discount your value. That's the only way that it can be taken away from you. But to really love yourself is a journey. For me, and I know it may be hard to believe, I never used to like my smile. Growing up, I never liked my smile. Everyone would tell me, "Oh, you have such a beautiful smile." I used to have a gap, and that was a big reason why I didn't smile. But even after I got my braces and everything, I still was not like, oh, and I was very insecure about my lips and stuff like that. So it wasn't until 2022 when I really started smiling more and I started speaking and I started being on my platforms more and just showing my face more, where I felt confident and more photogenic. And I used to body shame myself because I'm like, I'm too skinny, I don't have a shape, like, and all these things. And people who are on the outside looking in, they adore my body. They wish they could have my body. Hell, I even had a baby. 3 days later, my stomach dropped completely. I had nothing. Like I came home, people were like, "What happened to you?" And it's just those things. And it wasn't about what people were saying. It was more so about how I view myself, because I didn't love myself enough. Because one, I was comparing myself. Two, I wasn't really paying attention to myself, and I wasn't really valuing myself at the highest capacity that I know I could have. And like now, I am grateful for my body. I'm grateful for my lips. I'm grateful for my smile. I'm grateful for my natural way of being, because at the end of the day, this is all that I have. And I don't shade anybody for getting any work done that they do, but me, I don't like pain. I don't like being under a knife. I don't like people touching me. So if I could work with what I have to make it the best, I will always do that. And there's not much that I really need to do because I love myself and I accept myself. And I will do the work. I will go to the gym. I will work out. I will stretch my body. I will eat the right foods. I will cut back on the things that I don't need because I love myself that much to keep up naturally. So, with that being said, I hope that you all love yourself and continue to pour into yourself. If you all want to book any consultations, a meditation session, or you want to stay